news today at 9. We hope to be joined by the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu on what have been disturbing images that are coming in from Visakhapatnam in the aftermath of Cyclone Hudud, the race for food supplies. But before that, let's take a look at what else is making the headlines. It's time for Speed News with Vedika.
Thank you, Rajdeep. Here's a look at the news we're tracking at this hour. Pakistani troops resumed shelling and firing on 3 posts in Balakot area of Pooch in Jammu. The army retaliated with heavy caliber weapons. United Nations ignores Islamabad's bid to seek intervention on Kashmir to be resolved bilaterally. Omar Abdullah rejected reports of the presence of ISIS in Jammu and Kashmir. He said the ISIS flags were waved by some foolish youngsters. The wholesale price index base inflation dipped to a 59-month low of 2.38% in September from 3.74% in August this year. Tragedy in Hyderabad, 4-year-old girl who fell into an open borewell in Manchal on Sunday morning has been declared dead. Outrage over Bangalore traffic police personal assaulting motorists who had been booked for not wearing a helmet. 5 accused in the abduction and gang rape of a BPO executive at Dhaula Kuan in Delhi in the year 2010 have been held guilty by a Delhi court. The sentence will be pronounced on Friday. The Punjab government has withdrawn the Y-Series security to the BJP leader Navjot Singh Sidhu, who had campaigned against the Shiromani Akali Dal in Haryana. Flipkart's massive discount sale last week is reportedly being scrutinized by the Enforcement Directorate following complaints from traders against the online retail giant. And it's back to you in the studio.
Okay, let's then turn to another of our top stories this evening. They made all the right noises. Tall promises were made on women's safety after the tragic rape and murder of Nirbhaya. But now she's been let down, it appears, once again by our netas and red tapeism. The 663 rape crisis Nirbhaya centers are still awaiting a nod. A Headlines Today special report now shows how our politicians have failed to meet their promises.
December the 16th, a gang rape that shook the country. What followed were protests that made the then political dispensation sit up and take notice.
I propose to set up a fund. Let us call it the Nirbhaya Fund.
A proposal followed up by the Modi government. The Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi made the proposal for rape crisis centers in July.
They will go hand in hand with a national helpline. So far, we have just finished the first of, not the first, but how many meetings we've had on this issue. And we've reached a point where we have the money. We will be spending it for a district, one center in each district.
663 rape crisis centers need to be established across the country. The Child Women Development Ministry till now has sent a letter this year to all MPs. Only 25 have chosen to respond. Now, seeing the response, the ministry wrote a letter to the chief ministers of all states. Only 3 states responded. Such is the apathy that Delhi, where the Nirbhaya incident unfolded on the 16th December 2012, the city itself, the state itself has not responded on the rape center proposal.
इच्छा शक्ति नहीं है, पॉलिटिकल विल नहीं है, और अगर होती तो क्योंकि महिलाओं की सुरक्षा, महिलाओं के लिए किया गया कोई भी कार्य वो किसी भी पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स से ऊपर उठकर होना चाहिए.
Nirbhaya's gang rape and death and the sharp response it evoked may have forced the central government into making new laws and announcing new schemes. But 2 years on, surviving government apathy could be as big a nightmare for women as surviving rape. With Himanshu Mishra from Delhi, Preeti Chaudhary for Headlines Today.
The big question, has the Nirbhaya Fund simply failed to take off? Joining me on our face-off, Karuna Nandi, advocate at the Supreme Court. Also Pinky Anand, additional Solicitor General, who has of course been a member of, or is a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Appreciate the two of you joining us on our face-off. Let me go to you, Pinky Anand, right at the start. You know, I've got here, the fact is that Nirbhaya centers are lying defunct under the new government. The previous UPA government made little headway on it. Narendra Modi's government promised that they would set up these centers right away. It hasn't happened. What does that suggest about the commitment to women's empowerment and safety? Karuna, what does it say? Before we come to Pinky Anand, what does it say about our system that these Nirbhaya centers have still not been set up? Do you believe they are critical, and do you believe it's simply not a priority?
Look, I think the fact that the Nirbhaya centers themselves are a very good idea. They were rolled out, they were proposed by the previous government, and Maneka Gandhi has made it a really high priority. So I believe that it's the Prime Minister's desk at which level that this is pending. And I think given the fact that a lot of decisions in this government seem to be taken at the prime ministerial level, one other thing needs to happen. One is that the ministers need to be very clear about every last mile at the time that it goes to the Prime Minister's desk. For instance, you can't expect every woman from a village to go up to the district, therefore it also needs to be mobile. So the Maharashtra state government had said this to the central government. Secondly, it can't just be rape crisis centers. We also need things like witness protection programs. Every single ministry, the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, for instance, will not succeed unless you deal with violence, unless you deal with healthcare, etc. So therefore, violence against women really needs to be a cross-ministerial initiative, which needs to be led. And, you know, since the Prime Minister in this government seems to take a lot of these decisions, needs to be led by the Prime Minister in a Prime Ministerial task force.
Let me just put what the Mail Today report said. The Mail Today report says the plan to construct the two-storied center worth 30 lakhs each in 600 districts across the country is ready, but is awaiting a call from the Prime Minister's office.
Precisely.
So am I to understand, because the UPA government also failed. The fact is, the UPA government claimed they would introduce it. It didn't happen.
Absolutely.
You've now got an NDA government. Is it a question of priorities? Because at the end of the day, the center has to work with state governments. Nirbhaya centers are not being all set up here at the center. They are being set up in state capitals.
Absolutely.
And there are different governments in different state capitals.
But if you look at the Nirbhaya Keralam Center in Kerala, this was a pilot project. They are desperately awaiting funds. There is a center in Bhopal. There are two centers, I believe, that even have been set up in UP. The state government has such a terrible record in terms of violence against women. But yes, absolutely. This is something, look, this government, this Prime Minister was elected, a majority of voters said that they saw him as an able leader to end violence against women. About 90% of voters, there are various polls before the elections, just before the elections, about 90% of voters said that they wanted central government leadership. But the habits of patriarchy die hard. And in terms of making this a priority, our civil society has led in the way it's dealt with violence against women. This Prime Minister needs to get together a Prime Ministerial task force that works with all ministries to really see what is required and then take the funds from the Nirbhaya Fund. It can't just be lying there.
Pinky Anand, respond to that, because I think the fact is that surely a government cannot not afford to have the kind of funding. It's, you know, you're talking about 600 crores. It's not a large amount that you're talking about, but why are the funds not being sent to the Nirbhaya centers? Why are they not being set up? Maneka Gandhi apparently has written several letters as the Women and Child Development Ministers. Many of these letters are simply either state governments are not responding, and in some cases the Prime Minister's office is not pushing ahead with these.
Rajdeep, I think ultimately what you are saying is that the funds should go to the states and they should go to these crisis centers. There is no dispute on that fact. But why there is some possible delay in this issue, I am afraid I don't think I am in a position to answer. The fact that they should function,
but is it a priority issue?
Function efficiently.
Let me ask you whether you think it's a priority issue.
Of course.
Is this a priority issue?
Of course it is a major. Rajdeep, of course it is. It is a major priority issue, and it is something which is being addressed at all quarters. The question of how the implementation will happen, I am afraid I am not privy. I am not privy to those internal issues, so I can't answer for that. But as far as priority is concerned, I think the current government holds as a very strong priority, and therefore we will find the implementation in a short while.
Can I? Yes, Karuna, you don't believe that these are priorities because, as I said, the fact is every leader says we want to commit money to the Nirbhaya fund. Is part of the problem that this is still within a state bureaucracy. It is red tapeism that there will, as with often with government projects, funds are allocated. How they are used, whether they are going to be used, whether buildings are set up is a big question mark.
You know, it's that last mile delivery, right? And again, a lot of people elected this government because they saw them to be people who are dynamic, people who get things done. So in terms of this not getting done, ultimately, it's when the woman on the ground gets these services is when you have completed your job. You know, announcing something is just not good enough. At the same time, I really do want to say that yes, these crisis centers are absolutely important, but even they are not perfect, you know, like even there the details, the Maharashtra government was very clear that you can't expect a woman from a village to go to the district. There need to be mobile mechanisms so that the services can be delivered to the person who has been raped, right? But also, for instance, when you look at things like witness protection programs, it is so vital. Do you remember this case from Ghaziabad where a woman said that she was going to complain of stalking? And when she went to complain, ultimately, when she was sort of on her way to complain, she got raped by the man. Why? Because we don't have witness protection.
So you're saying that Nirbhaya centers in any case are a very small piece of providing genuine empowerment and women's safety, and even that piece at the moment has not been fitted, despite the commitments. Karuna Nandi, Pinky Anand, appreciate your joining us. It is the Nirbhaya betrayal, and we hope that the government will respond to that story and to that headlines today's special report on the failure of Nirbhaya centers. Okay, let's return to one of our top stories, and I want to return to Operation Hudud because the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh is about to join us. One of the images that we've had, one of the dominant images of the day today has been of people wanting in some form to somehow or the other ensure that they get their relief, their supplies are given. Those are the images we are seeing. People fighting for food, and even as petrol now is 100 rupees a litre and you've got milk supplies 5 times what they should be. Chandrababu Naidu is our newsmaker. He joins us even as we see those images on the screen. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Naidu.
Thank you.
So I just want to know those images which are dominating the screen. Your government did a very good job in ensuring that people were evacuated in time from the cyclone areas so that casualties were minimum. But after that, we are seeing in relief operations a number of hurdles, and people are saying hoarding has begun, prices are skyrocketing. What do you have to say about the fact that you've had to lathi charge people as they look for food packets?
No, that is not correct. Problem is, it is very, very serious problem. Even crisis, it is unheard of it. Cyclone hit the city. That is very, very important here. Generally, we have faced so many cyclones. Even nation has faced some cyclones. Even 96 there was hurricane. At that time, it has crossed the coast. Most of the area is land area, crops and other small villages. This time, first time in the history, it has crossed Visakhapatnam, important city. Around 20-25 lakh population there. And at the same time, for 24 hours, we prevented them to come out of house. Almost all power is totally cut off. So many problems they faced. Yesterday morning only we got access to do service. Immediately from morning there is no power, there is no diesel, because even diesel, all pump sets were hit by cyclone. They are unable to run the diesel pump sets or these pumps, the diesel pumps also, outlets also. Even food, we had no cooking, there is no gas, so many problems. So to meet 20 lakh people, it is a very Herculean task. Yesterday we were able to do. Other 4 or 5 districts, we are cooking food. Even we ask people to cook. There is a street corner kitchens. Government has organized so many relief camps. Everything we have done.
But
water, you know very well, for 20 lakh people, how to organize today.
So are you saying, sir, sorry to interrupt, are you saying therefore as Chief Minister that there is only so much that a state government can do? That the situation is such that it was impossible. It was impossible for you to ensure food supplies and essential commodities?
No, I am telling you, it is only in the initial stage there is a issue, but we are handling. Today, oil we are able to provide, water we brought generators, we are giving tomorrow onwards regular water supply, and also food I have done. Even vegetables I am getting from outside, I am putting all vegetables. Even milk from tomorrow onwards I am controlling everything. Within 48 hours we are able to control everything.
Are you therefore saying,
Even today,
are you
so
saying,
much of
Mr. Chief Minister, that in 48 hours situation will be normal?
Yes, not normal, but most of the issues we are attending. Most of the issues, except power. In some parts, power also we are restoring. Most of the issues we are attending.
You know,
I am calling you government.
Yeah, go ahead.
You come and ask people.
Yes.
I am telling you, you come and ask people what is the response, how government is acting.
Sir, I saw today on screen, I'm only going by the screen images. I'm glad you're reassuring the people of Visakhapatnam and Andhra Pradesh and the country that the situation will be brought on to normalcy soon. But I'm looking at the images, sir. This morning or this afternoon, I saw a lathi charge at the collectorate that you were forced to resort to. It appeared that people were in panic.
No, that is not correct. But whenever there is a distribution of food, there will be some crowds. They will come to take a food item. That is another issue. But as on today, I am taking all precautions. From tomorrow onwards, you will see total difference. Even today, people are happy what we are doing.
You know, I want to know, Mr. Chief Minister, yesterday one of the images I ran was of the airport. It was completely shattered. Brand new 5-year-old airport in Visakhapatnam, totally shattered. And the sense I got is that there are many buildings in Visakhapatnam which are not prepared to face the kind of onslaught of a cyclone. Do you believe that's something you're going to have to look at?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying, not only one, even Navy loss is nearly 2,000 crores. Even airport, new airport totally damaged. Even so many things. Even port, this steel plant, they lost so much of property, nearly 1,000 crores. Even port trust, so much of loss. Not only public sector, even private sector buildings, even Andhra University, around 500 crores loss. So many crops submerged and also totally destroyed. This is a big calamity. But at the same time, preventive measures we have taken. We are preparedness also we have done extremely well. Only problem is so huge problem, big problem. In the initial stage, people are totally shocked. They are unable to come out for work also. Even drivers, they are unable to come for driving for RTC buses. That is the reality. Psychological setback. Immediately within one day, we are able to recoup. We brought outside and everything we are putting at the earliest.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you, Mr. Chief Minister, I'm told that Narendra, you were there, of course, today with the Prime Minister. Are you asking for this to be declared a national calamity? Has the Prime Minister agreed to your request?
Generally, we request him. And at the same time, there is no president. That is what Cabinet Secretary and even Prime Minister told me. But I am very happy. Central government this time has taken so many preventive measures, so many reviews they have done. Even Prime Minister twice he telephoned to me. Even Central Home Minister spoke to me. Even Cabinet Secretary has taken 3, 4, 5, 6 reviews. But with coordination with central government and state government, we are able to prevent loss of lives. And at the same time today, Prime Minister announced ad hoc grant of 1,000 crores. I am thankful to Government of India, particularly Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Mr. Naidu, I am going to ask you this though in conclusion. Would you agree that there are still lessons to be learned? You know, as I said, your government has done a fine job with evacuation, but it's the aftermath. It's the ability to ensure that in the aftermath of a cyclone, the situation is brought speedily under control. Does that still remain a problem, you believe, for most state administrations? We still don't have a proper policy in place how to manage the aftermath of a disaster like this.
No, what I am saying, you are seeing one or two pictures you are talking.
Yes.
This type of magnitude of problem, how we have handled, you have to come and see. No, you can see total roads were totally blocked. Not even one tree is there in Visakhapatnam. It is 200 kilometers wind in Visakhapatnam city. Even buildings, some of the buildings were shaken. That is the situation. But at the same time, there is no road. How can reach? Even we need hundreds of proclaims to remove the trees. We have done that job. Even water, even everything I am telling you. Even poles, 40 to 50,000 poles were totally destroyed. Magnitude of the problem you have to understand. For 50,000 poles, how to erect 50,000 poles overnight with administration? Because I was prepared, a total administration is stationed in Visakhapatnam. We have taken work, even my ministers, my secretaries, and also total administration, neighboring districts, officers, everybody is here. We have taken the situation under control.
So
far,
you are reassuring, you are reassuring us that I will not see images like this 48 hours from now, right? I will not see people fighting for milk, fighting for food supply. That's an assurance you are giving me, Mr. Chief Minister, today.
No, not only assurance I am telling you, you have to come and see what is the job we have done.
Okay.
From tomorrow you are going to see the job what we are going to do. Then you can come and ask anybody in Visakhapatnam what we have done. And also you can tell afterwards what we have done.
Okay, I will take that up for you, your challenge up. Maybe come to Visakhapatnam myself and see what you've done on the ground. Chandrababu Naidu, appreciate your joining us on News Today at 9. As we said, our aim on this program will always be to bring you the news and the newsmakers. We're moving away from the noise.